So my name is Naomi Odongo. I'm the Group Head of Talent Management and Development for the Safal Group, and dabbling also as the Head of HR for Mabati Rolling Mills. So the Safal Group Employee Engagement Survey is a process that enables us to gather insights into our collective engagement as an organization, and also learn more of what we need to improve in our workplace in order to help our teams and the organization to thrive. The survey is dubbed the Safal Employee Voice to affirm the intention for staff to voice their opinions and for leaders to listen and act. From the moment we started the Safal Group Employee Engagement Survey, we have noted great gains. The first one being participation. If employees believe that there is value in participating in the process, they will participate. And I'm glad to state that our participation as at last year was at 93%. So that is a great gain. And that shows the confidence that employees have with the process. And also looking at our engagement ratio, it has improved when you compare it from 2021 to 2024, that is the survey we did last year. It has improved by 10%. And so that shows that the initiatives that we are putting in place to address the gaps that have been identified from this survey, they are actually impactful. So some of the things that we have done in order to achieve this is that whenever we get the results, the employee engagement results, we ensure that those results are cascaded down to our employees, so they get to get visibility of the overall score that has come, the overall mean score that has come through, not only for their respective business unit, but also for the Safal Group. So once this feedback is given to the employees, we partner, and when I say we, I'm talking about HR, we partner with the line teams, with the line managers, to really seek to understand what has led to high scores and what has led to the poor scores. So we mandate each respective BU to identify the two key areas where they scored well, and then the action plan with the teams to look at how do they enhance that. And then they also look at the two areas where they have scored low and also do the same. The main area where for the past couple of years where we seem to have been having an opportunity in is in recognition. And what we have sought to do is, again, partner with the line managers to also get to understand from the employees, how would you want to be recognized? Because when you talk about recognition, it's not about reward, it's not about compensations and benefits. It's about celebrating success. And people want to be celebrated differently, because as you know, we have people with different personalities. There are those who want to be celebrated openly, and there are those who want to be just celebrated between them and their manager. And so we get to understand from the teams, how would you want to be celebrated? It's been work in progress, but there's a lot that has been done to drive recognition within the business. And we are hoping that come now, when we do this survey that we are headed to, we should get a better mean score on recognition. If I may mention some of the things that we've done, like for example, in MRM, we've had the Winning Culture program, in which we have built a recognition aspect to it, where we are recognizing employees that are demonstrating accountability, passion, and teamwork, which is part of our winning culture. And that, as we continue doing that, I believe it will drive more engagement within the business. ALAF have also come up with a culture change program in which they have also tied a recognition element. And also UBL has done the same in terms of coming up with recognition initiatives. Even down south, they have come up with various recognition initiatives to help us drive this engagement driver, which is very, very key in driving engagement within the business. Other things that we have done to enable us to achieve this engagement ratio of 10% are that we have provided learning and development opportunities, like in the East Africa region. We came up with a sales academy to build the competencies for our sales team that was targeted on the 3 key channels, that is distribution, retail, and for the SBS team. That was out of the need that was highlighted through this employee engagement survey. Now, research has shown that there's a clear correlation between employee engagement and performance. Now, let's look at this. If we're in an organization where we have highly engaged employees, and let me break it down. Employees that are committed, they are motivated, they have a sense of purpose, and they are passionate for their work and organization, that will definitely lead to great performance. So the employee engagement survey has 12 drivers, and these have been clustered into 4 buckets. Now, the first bucket helps us to get insights on whether we are meeting the employee's basic needs. And this is all about, what do I get as an employee? And so the 2 engagement drivers that we focus on here, they are formulated in terms of 2 questions. So the first question is, I know what is expected of me. Am I clear on my job description? Do I know, when I go to work every day, do I know what is expected of me at the end of the day? And so it's very important for us to get that feedback from our employees. And then the second driver looks at whether our employees have the materials and tools, or the material and equipment that they should have in order to effectively deliver on their roles. The second bucket looks at you as an employee, your individual contribution. So the question that we pose there is, what do I give as an employee? And for that, there are 4 key questions that we ask in the survey. The first one being, at work, I have the opportunity to do what I do best every day. So am I in the right role that is aligned to my skill set, my competencies, right? And the second question is, in the last 7 days, I have received recognition or praise for doing good work. As human beings, we want to be celebrated. It's about the well done, good job, kudos, you're doing well. So the third question in that bucket of what do I give as an employee is, my supervisor or someone at work seems to care about me as a person. Now, one of our values as an organization is care for people, right? And it's very important for us because, remember, values are the boundaries within which we work. It's very important for us to ensure that we are providing care to our employees. And of course, when we get insights, then we action plan to just ensure that that care is being given effectively. And the fourth question in that bucket is, there someone at work who encourages my development? So here, when you talk about development, it's about career development, and it could be upward or sideways, right? Where I'm saying I've been in HR, but I aspire to get into sales. I'm very interested to get into sales, and I've acquired some sales competencies that can effectively allow me to step into sales. Now, the third bucket looks at teamwork. Do I belong, right? I may know what is expected of me. I may be recognized for doing great work. I may have the tools that I need to do my job well, but do I feel like I belong? Do I fit in effectively? Do I feel like I'm part of the team, right? And there are 4 key questions that we have here, because this is very important in helping drive engagement within the business. Now, the first question that we pose under that bucket is, at work, my opinion seems to count, right? When I voice my opinion, is my opinion being listened to? The second question is, the mission or purpose of my company makes me feel my job is important. So do I feel like I'm aligned to the mission and purpose of the Safal Group? Then the other question, the third question in that bucket is, my associates or fellow employees are committed to doing quality work. Because imagine if you came to work, you're the only one who is pushing your weight and delivering, and no one else is bothered to deliver on their KPIs. Of course, that will be a source of disengagement, right? And it could even cost me not to just give the bare minimum because everybody else is giving the bare minimum. So the fourth question in this bucket asks the employee to give us feedback on whether they have a best friend at work. Why is this question important? Best friend at work looks at, have you been able to build connections of value within the organization? Because this is very important for your well-being as an employee. And when we get feedback on this question, we'll be able now to come up with action planning on how to enable teamwork and collaboration and team spirit within the organization. So the fourth bucket focuses on growth, your growth as an employee. And so it poses this question: how do I grow? So in that bucket, there are two questions that we have. The first one being, in the last 6 months, someone at work has talked to me about my progress. I believe you are with me when I say that it's very important to be given continuous performance feedback. And so through this question, we are just seeking to understand, are you being given that continuous performance feedback by your manager? Why is that important? It helps you to know whether you are on track towards the achievement of your KPIs and also your contribution towards the overall business or even functional and also and business unit goals. Now the last question, which is question number 12, which is second on this bucket, is this last year I have had opportunities at work to learn and grow. When you talk about learn and grow, we are not just talking about classroom-based training. There's online programs. There's also coaching that you'll get from your manager. There's coaching, peer coaching that you'll get from your colleagues. There's that which you will learn maybe from reading a book that has been handed down to you. Job rotation that you may get. There are different ways or methodologies that we use to enable you to learn and grow. So why is learn and grow important? Because this helps us to support you in improving your competencies, and in so doing, it enables you now to even deliver effectively against your KPIs or to even drive performance within the business. And we're saying as a business, if we focus on these 12 basic needs of our employees, right, and ensure that these needs are being met, this will enable us to affect the level of employee engagement within the business. Apart from the 12 questions that I have walked you through, we have another set of questions that we seek to get feedback on from our employees. Now, the first set has 3 questions, and these are aimed at enabling us to get feedback on these 3 questions. The first one being, I believe I have the adequate opportunities for career advancement at my organization. I understand how my role supports the overall business strategy of my organization. That is all about goal cascade. It will give us insights on, is goal cascade being done effectively within the business, and is there something that we need to do differently? And then the third one is, I would recommend my organization as a great place to build a meaningful career. So why is that important? We also want to get to know, can our employees be our brand ambassadors and talk about our employer brand out there? Can they encourage someone to join the business? Now, the other set of questions, again, has 3 separate questions. And this is where we seek to get what we call the accountability index. So here we seek to get feedback from our employees on whether they have received feedback on the last employee engagement survey, because we don't want this to be a tick the box exercise. And what we have mandated the HR teams is that once the survey results come out, then you have to share it, because we're able to provide results per department. And so you are able to share, you're expected to share those results in partnership with the line manager for each of the respective functions. So we just want to get feedback from the employees on whether they have been given feedback from the last survey. And secondly, we also need feedback on whether the employees are participating in an effective action planning process following the last employee engagement survey. That is also very important for us, because this survey feedback comes from them. So we take it back to them and say, this is what you said. And then we say, these are the gaps that we have identified. This is where we have excelled. This is where we seem to have opportunities. And where we seem to have opportunities, we get to understand, why is it so? And then now again with employees, we carve out an action plan on what are we going to do to mitigate against the identified gaps. The last question is, my team has made progress on the goals set during our action planning sessions after the last employee engagement survey. So it's not just about cascading the survey results, action planning, but we want to continuously give our employees feedback on the progress that we are making in closure of the identified action plans. Now, as I complete this aspect of the employee engagement surveys, I know I have talked about action planning for the too high and too low, but we don't limit the teams. A team can decide, I not only want to focus on the too low, but I want to focus on the 4 low, right? So we still give out that liberty. As long as the too high and the too low have been considered, anything else that the team decides to do is still okay. We still support. Now, to enable employees answer the questions, we provide them with a 5-point scale. And the scale runs from 1 to 5, where 1 stands for strongly disagree and 5 stands for strongly agree. So for example, when you start off the survey, the first question is, I know what is expected of me at work. So you can, if you don't know what is expected of you at work, you don't have a job description, you're not aware of what your job description is, you don't know what your KPIs are for the year, then I would rate myself, I strongly disagree. I don't know what is expected of me. But if I am clear on my job description and I'm clear on the key performance indicators for the year, right? And that has been cascaded down to me, then of course I will rate it as strongly agree. So if you agree with a statement, if you give it a 5, 4, that shows that you're agreeing with what the statement is saying. But if you disagree with what the statement is saying, then you move on downwards towards 1 within the 5-point scale. Safal Group is not involved in going through the scores that employees are given. And that is why we have appointed Gallup to carry out this survey on our behalf. And why is this important? This helps us to assure confidentiality in whatever scores that we give within this process. The survey will be done online, right? And for those who do not have access to a computer or a laptop, a special code will be given to them, which they will use to do the survey. And what we've done is that we'll partner with the HR teams, the local HR teams. We'll provide them a center that they can go to, or a room where they can go to and do the survey on their own. All the scoring that is done or the input that comes through the survey, that goes directly into the Gallup database. And so Gallup International, what they do is that they look at the feedback that has come from the employees, and then they are able now to do an analysis and provide us a report on how we are doing across all those 18 questions as a business. So the 2025 survey, employee engagement survey, will run from the 12th to the 24th of February. And the results should be out by latest 27th of March. I look forward to your participation. And remember, your voice matters.